Hello everybody. I've been out walking around trying to find a decent place to set up a little table and have a cup of coffee. The last round of chemotherapy that did kind of put the kibosh on a few plans that I was going to do for today and today's video for the Think Media's YouTube 1K challenge video session. I was supposed to actually have mine up yesterday, but I finished up a round of chemo and Tumor, and it's kind of played havoc with me. And also, not to get too graphic, but it's also played havoc with my my bowels. Yes. Anyway, but I do have a table right over here. Let's switch over and let's switch over and set up. Well, I'm going to be honest. It's starting to warm up. Wait, where am I? That's the worst thing right there. As I was saying before I so rudely interrupted myself, it's getting pretty warm out here. I started out. I can't even remember. We were in the low 30s. But I have a ton of stuff to do today, and because I felt bad over the weekend, like I said, I was coming off that chemotherapy, plus then I had some blockage, bowel issues, to be polite about it, and so that kind of kept me down all weekend, and I had planned on filming a video, but anyway, let me go ahead and get on with my little video, because that's what this video is all about, is me, don't me. As I fall down and hurt myself. Okay. Alright, now I have a chair I brought with me, but I don't know. I may need a chair and I may not. I don't know, I don't really feel like sitting, to be honest. I feel like being up and moving around. After you've been on that chemotherapy, thank God that, and literally thank our Savior, that these cycles of chemotherapy are no longer 21 days long. They used to be 21 days long and then 7 days off. Now the doses of the Tumor are 5 days long, or 5 days in duration, and then you get I think like it's 21 days off in between cycles. So it helps out a whole lot. A whole lot. But yeah, I think I'm just going to stand. Maybe even do some Qigong static standing postures like this. Everybody in martial arts will recognize that classic horse stance. This is more of a Tai Chi Chuan stance, or Qigong stance. You don't have to go deep. Just slight bent knees. But make sure your spine is erect. Imagine a string. It's just kind of pulling on your spine. Just kind of pulling it up. And always remember, be gentle. Gentle. This is not karate, which is, a lot of it is very hard. No. But anyway, I'm rambling, which I tend to do. If you watch my videos, any of the other videos, you'll see that I do ramble sometimes. I guess it's a byproduct of, before the brain tumor, I wanted to, one of my goals was to become a professor. And I may still do that in the future. Right now I don't have the money for it, being on because of the disability, the brain tumor. I tried as hard as, I literally tried as hard as I could. And eating just ramen noodles and tuna to try to pay those student loans to Sally Mae and a couple of others. But eventually, when the tumor came back, I got 3 years of remission from roughly 2011 to right at 2013-14. I got a few years that I didn't have to worry about chemotherapy or anything like that. But now that's neither here nor there. Everything is sliding off. What I'm using today, I should say, is a Snow Peaks titanium cup with a lid that also functions as a frying pan. The lid can also function as the frying pan. I know I'm going a little quick today, and I apologize. I feel just, I don't know, rushed? No, not really. I don't know. Tell you what, let me go ahead and get everything set up, or I'll just chit-chat, why not? All of my subscribers, especially the ones that have been giving me kind notes, I want to definitely say a big thank you to you. They've meant more to me than you can possibly know, honestly. I've been struggling with the focus of my channel, whether to like focus just on bushcraft kind of things, or, well, I can't mountain bike anymore, but things that I used to do. Outdoor survival trips, used to do those. So it's just going to be focused on, it's going to stay Reason to Live Adventures, and that means any kind of adventure that I can think of, whether it be hiking down to the lake, or, you know, some kind of a lame one, just kind of camping around here at night, you know, trying to perfect my skills. It's just one of those things. If I could just figure this out. That's the other thing about the one of the other things about the brain tumor, is I have a hard time sometimes just deciphering what once would have been simple. So I tell you what, let me go ahead and jump off for a second, save some battery power, save you all from watching me ramble around and go, oh my God, I wish you enjoyed this month. Well, I'm going to go ahead and kick on that water. La 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 la. How's everybody doing out there? And in particular, how did everyone that's competing, or not competing, participating in the YouTube challenge, in the 1K challenge? I did pretty good up until that last day of chemo. And then it was pretty tough. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It was it was pretty tough. Each round is a little different. Sometimes I can get through a round of chemo and it's okay. And sometimes, no. This was one of those no times. I thought I was good to go, and then the last day, literally the very last day, I should stay. The very last day, and look, I have spectacles, readers now, like Captain Kirk, and every time I put them on, I say the same thing he did. Damn. But part of it, part of the aging process, as you say, or as they say. Anyway, I guess I'm just rambling now for no reason. But I am glad to be alive today. During the challenge, I watched another cancer survivor. She didn't make it, and it reminded me to live the best I can. I always say carpe diem, seize the day. I have all these little mantras, like Bruce Lee's saying about don't pray for an easy life. Instead, pray for the strength to endure a long one. Or not a long one, but pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. And then, of course, there's the famous one that I used to use all the time when I came out of the coma from Shawshank Redemption, which is, hey, either get busy living or get busy dying. And that's true. That's the absolute truth of it. You have to sometimes push yourself really hard. They gave me a 50% chance of ever walking again, and I pushed myself to where I was crying. The pain was that bad. But in the end, sometimes you have no choice. It was either that or just make a place for myself permanently on the couch and go from there. So, and I need to check and see if that light's on. There's a bit of a glare and I can't tell, so I'm going to check real quick. So I'm going to cut all of this out. And yes, oh Lordy, I'd give just about anything to be able to be the high-speed, low-drag kind of dude I once was, but these things happen. And it's been 12 years that all of this happened to me, and sometimes it still feels like yesterday. Maybe it seems irrational, not logical, but it does. Especially when I try to go and pick up something. I'm left-handed, and I have very limited feeling on the entire length of my left side. That's why the limp, that's why you see that limp that I have. The neuro-oncologist at UVA, neurosurgeon, actually not neuro-oncologist, but the neurosurgeon and the neuro-oncologist theorize that I probably had a mini stroke during surgery, but it was not listed in any of my patient surgical notes. So who knows? It's just a theory, but seems real to me, especially when I'm out here walking around and I fall or I can't remember anything. That's the other thing I was mentioning, that originally I wanted to be a teacher, professor of Asian studies. That would have been my I know it's not a super goal, or it's not, but it was my goal. I wanted to teach Asian philosophy, Buddhism, etc. at the college level, and I don't know if I'll be able to do it anymore or not. We may be getting close to out on that canister. I'll have to remember that. But we do have, the water is warm enough for coffee. So, and now I'm wondering what I did with the coffee spoon. I did have a titanium spoon. Where it went, nobody knows. But that's okay. You know why? As I look away. That's the other thing. If I look away, this hand, it does its own thing. See? It's like, just to emphasize a point, I'll do this to just, all right then. What I'll do is I'll just use a little stick. I hope everyone has a great Easter. I know that's coming up, or is it? Easter's coming up. And it's a fantastic time to renew relationships, renew friendships. Here I've got a family member that is succumbing slowly to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it reminds me that you always think you have more time until you don't. I know that's an old saying that you hear all the time in movies and TV, but it's true. In my own situation, I thought I had lots of more time until that day that the first grand mal seizure hit. And then, the world faded to black, literally faded to black. And then there are like some things like that. You see a scene or something, you come back to reality for a second, kind of like in the movies. And then when I finally woke up permanently, or they told me that, hey, you've been in a coma for almost a month, and you have a brain tumor, but at that time they didn't know if it was fatal, like it was going to kill me tomorrow or not. It took another month waiting for a biopsy from Johns Hopkins to confirm that it was a Oligodendroglioma. It's a grade 2. It's still a grade 2. Some people say, well, that's not bad. It's not bad. It's not there are a couple of that are even worse. The glioblastomas, yeah, those are bad. But this one is still pretty bad. Every so often I have to do radiation. Well, I can't do radiation anymore. I've had enough radiation to literally scramble my brains, and can't have any more surgery. And so we're just hoping that the Timidar, the chemotherapy, does its trick and gives me another year or 2 or 3 or whatever. But you know, I've never been about quantity. It's always been about quality. So if I get to the point where life is just not livable and suffering, I'll do what the Buddha was once mentioned, that once you lose your ability to be a sentient being, that's not life anymore. And I agree. So anyway, on that cheerful note, I'm going to go ahead and have this coffee and sign off, because as soon as I drink this, I've got to gather everything up. Then I've got to run over, and like I said, I've got to meet a surgeon this afternoon for that hernia consult that I've been waiting to get for quite some time. And the hernia surgeon was waiting on me to finish up chemotherapy. This extra little round of chemo kind of put us behind schedule a little bit, but that's okay. I'll have this I'll have the hernia surgery done, and then I'll be able to, once I'm healed up, I'll be able to get out and do long distance hikes and start taking other survivors out on maybe overnight trips at first, maybe 1 or 2 people. I've been collecting gear, got enough camping gear, tents, backpacks, etc. I just don't have clothing. But you'd have to provide that. But any survivors out there can always contact me at Reason to Live Adventures, Reason to Live 2018 it's Reason to Live 2018 at gmail.com. Sorry about that. Or you can leave a comment at my channel, Reason to Live Adventures. So, all right, everybody. And I'm going to say matane, and matane is just to kind of throw over to my degree, or my education and degree is focuses in Asia. So anyway, have a great one. I was actually looking at, there's a truck up there on there's a road right across from the field, and I'm just like blah blah. Now I'm rambling and I haven't even had a lot of coffee yet. So anyway, matane.